Today I'm reviewing a 2001 Oldsmobile Silhouette, which is a minivan that was introduced to the US market in 1990 and discontinued along with the rest of the Oldsmobile lineup after the 2004 model year. Compared with the first generation Silhouette that had a very futuristic, unconventional design, this second generation model is designed to be far more mainstream and appeal to a larger audience. The Silhouette is a sibling to the Chevy Venture and Pontiac Montana, and within that trio of minivans, the Venture is your more mainstream value choice option, the Montana is a sportier alternative, and then we've got the Silhouette as the more premium luxury model. Comparing the second generation Silhouette with the first generation, it is slightly smaller and it's narrowed down a little bit. The reason for that is that GM wanted a single vehicle to fill their minivan niche within both the North American and European markets, and having the narrow design here makes this vehicle more manageable for tighter European streets. As far as trim packages go, this second generation Silhouette was available in 4 different trim packages. Starting off with the base GS model that was only offered through 1999, that GS had a shortened wheelbase and an optional rear sliding driver's side door. All other trim packages of the Silhouette come standard with this extended wheelbase and dual sliding doors. After that base GS model, you've got the GL, the GLS, and this top of the line Premier package. Now in terms of styling, it is a minivan, so there's nothing too exciting to see here, but again, within its segment, there's nothing else out there that's all that exciting either. And certainly when compared with the first generation Silhouette, it's a much better looking vehicle. That first generation was very unique and definitely a one-of-a-kind vehicle, but obviously that didn't drive sales volumes, and they saw a pretty significant sales increase with the introduction of this new second generation. Overall, it's very similar to the Chevy Venture and Pontiac Montana, very subtle differences that distinguish the 3 models. Starting up here at the front, we've got a revised front fascia, so you'll see that the headlight, grille, and bumper design is slightly different than what you'll get with the Venture or the Montana. You'll see the lower bumper that we do have integrated fog lights, and overall the design has a nice clean conservative look to it. You also see that we get a unique set of wheels on the Silhouette. Nothing too exciting about them, but again, does distinguish it from those other 2 models. And then you'll see that we also get pinstriping along the side here that is a unique feature available on the Silhouette. Beyond that, the 3 vehicles are essentially the same beyond badging changes. Where you really notice the difference with the Silhouette is when we get inside, and you'll see it comes with a really nice level of standard options and features. But overall, pretty attractive vehicle. Nice having the dual sliding doors. Obviously that's become standard within the minivan lineup, but not something that was available on that first generation. Up above, we've got integrated side rails and crossbars, allow you to attach rack attachments. And you'll see we've got an antenna here for the OnStar system. So overall, nice clean look to the vehicle. Obviously nothing too exciting here, but within the minivan segment, definitely a fairly attractive option for this era. And you'll see that once we get inside and look at the powertrains, it's got a lot to offer there as well. Looking inside the Silhouette, you'll see it's got a pretty nice overall interior. Obviously a huge improvement over that first generation model in terms of design, material quality, fit and finish, and available luxury and tech features. Got full leather seating surfaces throughout, leather wrapped steering wheel, and a number of wood insets. As far as options, we get power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, power driver seat, audio controls on the steering wheel. Our instrument cluster's got a tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge. 3 vents here in the center dash. Below that we've got our audio system, which has a CD and cassette player, and we've also got AM/FM radio. Tri-zone climate control for driver, front passenger, and rear of the vehicle. We've got our sprayers for the rear window, as well as wipers, fog lights, traction control, and heated seats for driver and front passenger. Below that, we've got 2 cup holders here, 2 12-volt outlets down below that, and a storage compartment. Up above, we've got a manual dimming rear view mirror, LCD screen with temperature readout and compass, a couple reading lights. Up above here, controls for the rear doors, and then vents for the rear windows. We've also got OnStar and the ability to program up to 3 garage door openers. Coming to the back here, we'll open up this sliding door. Driver's side on this vehicle is manually operated, and the passenger side is power. You see that this vehicle's got the center row captain's chairs, giving us seating capacity for 7. Silhouette's also available with a middle row bench seat, increasing that seating capacity to 8. You see we've got armrests on both sides of these captain's chairs, and they can be easily removed from the vehicle if you want to increase cargo space. Up above, we've got climate controls, vent control, temperature control, and we've also got some audio controls with headphone jacks. Access to the third row seat is through the middle of these two bucket seats. And you'll see that in the back we've got cup holders and some storage space. Also worth noting that these captain's chairs do recline backward with the use of this lever here. And coming around to the back, we'll open up this rear hatch, and you'll see that we've got a pretty good level of rear cargo space. This third row seat can also be folded down by pulling this lever here, dropping down the seat back, and then below the floorboard, we've also got a nice little storage compartment here. The Silhouette came standard with front wheel drive, but it also had an optional all-wheel drive system from 2002 to 2004. Under the hood, it's got a 3.4 liter 6-cylinder with 184 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 4-speed automatic transmission and is good for an EPA rating of 17 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway with front-wheel drive, and 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 miles per gallon on the highway with all-wheel drive. You'll see a 0 to 60 time of 10.7 seconds, and max tow capacity on the Silhouette is 3,500 pounds. Now, as far as drivability goes, there's nothing too amazing going on here. It's a 20-year-old minivan, and so obviously it's showing its age, and it wasn't a class leader to begin with, so it was never all that amazing, but it's still a pretty decent overall vehicle to drive. It's fairly smooth, quiet, it's comfortable. I will say that the suspension has a very soft feel to it, so it kind of feels like you're floating on a cloud. That's good if you're going in a straight line, not so good if you're turning. It gives you a little bit of a car-sick feel. As far as the powertrain goes, that 3.4 liter 6-cylinder is definitely competitive within the segment. That doesn't mean that it's fast though. That 0 to 60 of 10.7 is quite slow, along with other minivans from this era. But despite the fact that it's not all that quick when it comes to accelerating, once you get up to speed, definitely feels like there's more than enough power. I would say that acceleration is not really its high point, but in terms of power, it's still a fairly powerful overall vehicle. And that 3,500 max tow capacity is pretty decent as well. Now, as far as the interior goes, it's a pretty nicely appointed interior. It definitely feels like a very luxurious vehicle for something that dates back to 2001. And there were a number of cool features available on this Silhouette that were really kind of groundbreaking for its time. One of those features is that the Silhouette was one of the very first vehicles on the market offered with a VCR and a flip-down LCD TV screen for entertainment for the rear passengers. Obviously, that's become standard throughout the minivan industry since then, and first adopted within the Silhouette. So kind of a cool little claim to fame. The other thing too is that depending on how you equip your Silhouette, you can get up to 17 cup holders, and so you can have a lot of drinks in your vehicle for all the 7 or 8 passengers that you've got. So overall it's a pretty nice vehicle to drive. Again, nothing too amazing about the overall experience. I wouldn't say that it's class leading or the best minivan for this era when it comes to drivability, but there's nothing really all that wrong with it either, and it is a huge advancement in drivability when compared with the first generation. Given the progression that Oldsmobile made from the first to the second generation model of the Silhouette, it's kind of a shame that they didn't get a third chance to see if they could make the vehicle competitive within the segment. Although the Silhouette wasn't a class leader within the minivan segment, it's still a pretty decent package all around. It's attractive on the exterior. It's got a very nice interior with a good level of available luxury and tech features. The powertrain is comparable with this segment, and it's a pretty decent option all around. If you have any comments or questions on the Silhouette, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.